Established in April 2021, Upland Development United is an exclusive property development collaborative for the Upland Metaverse. If you're a bigger picture and loyal team player who has a great sense of humour and is looking to get more engaged in a diverse and experienced team, you can help us and we can help you. Contact Morecheese or Ben68 for more information. Warning, all opinions within are solely the views of the individuals involved.
The UDU Upland Development United installed their neighborhood nodes throughout the entirety of Upland. Their reach was unmatched.
About to say g'day, but that's the wrong show.
Hello.
This is UDU Team Meeting number 44, and it is the last ever team meeting. Da, da, da.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. The last ever team meeting. Well, we're going to move on to, but we'll get to this later. We're going to move on to monthly, what do we call them? Get-togethers.
Catch-ups.
Yeah, catch-ups.
Yeah.
That's the word I'm looking for. So
Not
yes.
mustards.
No, not
Catch-ups.
ketchups. All right, yeah. I'm going to blitz through this. As you know, there's been a whole bunch of changes recently, especially in regards to myself and my availability. I've been mentioning this for, I don't know how long I've been banging on about this, several months. Yeah, my in real life work has just kicked in like crazy. So now I'm very lucky if I get 15 minutes free time before I head off to work in the mornings, and then in the evenings I maybe get 30 minutes to an hour, but that's if my wife isn't on night shift, because then I'm juggling the kids and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, my availability this year has just gone way down the shitter. So that's a lot to do with the changes that are all happening. But it's not just that. It's also kind of a different mindset as far as the team goes from year one to year two. Like we know we're just about to kick over the 1 year anniversary. So yeah, year one, I don't know. How would you describe year one?
A learning experience for all.
Yeah. It was quite a journey, a lot of talk, a lot of drama, a lot of bullshit, a lot of wasted time and energy and resources. Definitely not looking to repeat that in year two. So year two is all going to be about just, what do we say here? Heads down, bums up, you know, which sounds a bit kinky, but no, it just means just working. It's just, you know, not about talk anymore. We've moved on from all that. It's just about getting stuff done. And that's what I'm hoping the focus is going to be on for year two. And that pretty much underpins all of the potential changes that we're going to talk about. Right. Anybody else want to chime in about that? Difference between the overall focus year one to year two?
No more hype train. I like that. Just doing and not only talking, because that's annoying when people come in and just say this is what they want and they try to get others to do it for them instead of doing it themselves.
Yeah, well, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. And then, okay, let's do it. And crickets, all that good stuff. Yeah. So you're definitely not looking to go down that path for year two. That kind of segues into the next point on the list, which is UDU's position within the wider community. I know for myself, I went and removed myself from well over 150 loosely or directly Upland related servers. I'm down to about 12 servers, probably even going to strip those down, probably another 4 or 5 just to what I'm actively engaged in. Yeah, I've pretty much done away with any sort of engagement in the Upland, what is it, the Upland general chat or the server, because my time is so limited. Any time that I do have available, I want to focus that on UDU stuff or MBE stuff. I don't want to waste my time gas bagging about nonsense in stuff that means nothing at the end of the day. So yeah, don't don't expect to see me in any of that sort of stuff there unless I get specifically tagged and I get flagged for that. But yeah, if it wasn't for the fact that I had to be in there for the business channels and whatnot, I'd probably just leave the server entirely. But, you know, you got to be there for announcements and whatnot. And I'm sure everybody knows it's very easy to get sucked into conversations and next minute you've lost an hour or whatever. I just can't afford to lose that hour, you know, at the moment. And, you know, it's looking likely to be at least this year, possibly the next, even worse next year. So we'll see how that plays out. Yeah, I don't know. Cheese, did you want to, or anybody else want to speak to that as well?
I wish I could be more like you. It's kind of addictive. There's so many great people in there, but I agree. Like, I need to pull myself away too, because sometimes, you know, you don't only lose time. You also kind of lose your cool a little bit.
Yeah, you had a bit of a flip out yesterday, and that kind of probably, I'd imagine that probably threw your whole day out, I'd guess.
I mean, yes and no.
Yeah.
I was sticking up for someone that wasn't there. Somebody else was sticking up for someone that wasn't there. I could care less.
Yeah.
I took some Diet Pepsi and I was fine.
Yeah, it's just a bit of a time sink for me. I just can't do it. If I sit down to do stuff, you know, I want it to be worthwhile. I want it to, you know, have some kind of impact or be leading somewhere.
Yeah.
So, yes, and that speaks to pretty much everything. Like, not going to be spamming UDU stuff anywhere. Like, we've already severely stripped that back as we've moved along this year. You know, we came out gangbusters. We're all over the place, but yeah, with the changes that are coming up, that's probably going to slip. The overall position within the wider community is going to slip further and further underground. You know, there's pros and cons to that. Every member that's already in the team, in the server, they need to consider if that's something they want to be a part of. If you want to be part of a bombastic, open, rah-rah server, then UDU is not going to be the server for you. But again, there's no reason you can't be in multiple groups. Like Finn and I just had somebody reach out this morning saying, you know, interested in UDU, but I'm tossing up between UDU, Icon, and TNA. And I was like, well, you don't have to toss up. You can be in all three. You know, many of our members are, including myself. So anyhow, that's the end of that. Changes to team meetings. Yeah, we kind of already touched on that a little bit. We're not going to be doing weekly. I just kind of, I don't have the time basically to set it all up. We will move to a catch up that it's going to be probably the first of the month someday. I don't know. We'll work out. There may be a better time and day that we can schedule. I might be able to push it to my weekend, which, you know, if I push it to my Sunday, it could be your Saturday or something like that. But we'll work that out. If it's only going to be once a month, I should be able to schedule that in. And they'll be just quick catch ups. We're not going to worry about all this, you know, wine of the week and all that sort of stuff, or, you know, the market reports. That can all be done within the server itself. If we need to touch on anything in between those monthly catch-ups, well, we can just do that in the voice chat channel within the server or something like that. Okay. Over to changes to the Mve roster. There's been several changes there. One of the biggest ones is we've dropped the idea of the Upland Mass show entirely. I just don't have the time at all. It sounded like a fun project. If somebody else wants to pick that up and run with it, go for your life. But yeah, that won't be run as anything official. The Breaking Badly news show, again, that was kind of a casualty of me just not having enough time to focus on. We are still trying to work out how we can do that as potentially a weekly show, which reminds me I need to get on to that. Or maybe we do need to try and get together and have a bit of a brainstorming session to see how we can flesh that out. I know I put a post in, Joe put a post in. So yeah, we'll try and get that organised as well. What else is in Mve? Oh yeah, I've stood down from the Australian and New Zealand cafe show. Again, that's a casualty of no free time. So it's going to be pretty much the monthly UDU catch-ups. The wine and cheese show will continue. as is, and something else. I lost my train of thought. What else is in there? Oh, the MBE, there's still a lot of stuff going on there as far as NFTs and whatnot. So if you're interested in the NFT side of things, yeah, get over and check that out. There's always a lot going on there. Other than that, next point, existing vetting members and the 1-year anniversary. So at the moment, we have several members that are still under vetting. All of those members will have the opportunity to upgrade to UDU prior to the 1-year anniversary. Yeah, we have loosened up what it takes to upgrade from now. So it's just all about a reset. So we want to start off fresh for the year 2. So let's get all of the existing vetting members upgraded to UDU, or they can move on. It's up to them. And we'll get going from there. Do we have any vetting members in chat? Don't think so. No.
Well, I mean, DTech is working. Who else is there? I think Cam is working.
There's Jay, Cam. I don't know. I think there's several, isn't there? I don't know.
John.
Yeah, we'll go through and check it out. But yeah, we'd like to get all that squared away before the 1-year anniversary, which segues into what we plan to do for year 2. So probably at the turnover point, or as part of the year 2 kickoff, we're going to be completely redoing the UDU member list. So any of the prior members who you may see that are in the list who are no longer associated with the team, they're going to be taken out. And yeah, the list will be redone from scratch based on who's in the here and now. There's a few reasons for doing that. First of all, it's a bit neat and tidier. It acknowledges the people who've stuck it out or who are still involved, and we will be putting together an NFT that commemorates that. So yeah, I don't know, Cheese, did you want to speak to that at all, or anybody else?
I think it's good. I think it's like we started, and then whoever stuck with us through all the crap, who left and then came back because they decided the grass isn't greener. Whoever wants to, seriously stay and is who UDU kind of encompasses, then I think that now is the time to do the NFT and rethink the whole membership role. Like, I totally agree with you. I think let's not look at who was, let's look at who is and who is doing now.
Yes, absolutely. And Coops just posted in chat something about should I submit his membership profile for the website. If you check out the website, you'll see I've stripped the UDU website back to bare bones. I've taken out anything that was going to need constant attention and maintenance or upgrading, again, because it's just a time factor. So yeah, it's no longer necessary to do any of that sort of stuff. It's just basic down to the bare bones information over there now. But that does remind me I need to tidy up the MBE website. Yeah, and that's another thing that in year 1 we talked about UDU NFT series, blah, blah, blah. We talked about that on and off again for ages. About the only thing that ever got done was Cheese put together some Spark Train NFTs. Am I remembering that correctly? Yeah. So yeah, for year 2, there will definitely be a lot more happening as far as that sort of stuff goes. So that kind of, again, that segues into new server roles. We have been talking within the management channel in the UDU server about reconfiguring server roles, because at the moment we have vetting, UDU, and then there's moderator, and that's about it. But we don't really need moderators. They don't really do moderating, so we need different terminology for that. And we thought it'd be fun to kind of come up with some different roles that maybe, I don't know, allude to or what's the word I'm looking for? Celebrate, progression within the team. There's obviously some people that get involved in the team and they're loosely involved. They chime in here, there, and everywhere. And then there's other people that are fully on board and, you know, get involved with management side of things and whatnot. So we need, I don't know, some way to reflect that. And again, that'll be likely reflected in a series of NFTs as well, matching NFTs. So, and we're gonna lean into the cult angle as well. Why not? That's a bit of fun. So we'll see how we go. So if you can think of any server roles, we have been throwing around a few ideas, but nothing's really stuck yet. Potentially, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 different server roles. Vetting member would be the introductory one, and admin or something like that would be the top one. So some other ones in the middle there somewhere would be cool. No ideas off the top of people's heads?
I don't know if I agree with anybody else being an admin.
No, it's you and I as the admin. Yeah.
I don't
Unless
think
somebody
anybody
was
is as like tenacious or kind of crazy as you and I that put almost 24% into this, but I like sacrificer, somebody who sacrifices a good amount of their time for the cause can be a sacrificer.
That's leaning right into the nice. You're leaning right into it. Yeah, we'll play around. But yeah, the admin that was just showing, you know, where the goalposts are basically. Morecheese needs the knife roll. Yeah.
I do.
And that, server roles kind of segues over to future vetting and onboarding. We already know that UDU doesn't recruit at all. So it's all about people reaching out. I expect that's with us pulling away from, you know, visibility in the community. I expect that's going to drop away a bit as well. But, you know, there's always going to be people reaching out at some stage. It's a bit hard with vetting now that we still don't have access to transaction history unless, you know, Finn and Nub and Steve dive into the raw blockchain data. It's pretty hard to do any sort of vetting as well. So I think it's working out well. The 1 month vetting period, just that alone is working out really well. You can see, you know, how involved people are and what they're all about, sort of thing. So I expect that side of things will continue.
And they can see how we are.
Yeah, which is probably even more important. Yes, onboarding, not much is going to change there. And it'll be the same role. You come on, you have limited access within the server, and then you'll be able to move up. But for onboarding, and this goes to the next point, expectations of membership. I got all the information that was collated by Koi, and I kind of chopped that up and edited to fit nicely, and I sent that over to Cheese, and she patched that into the UDU server rules because we know those were quite outdated. So that shows the new expectations of membership, and a big part of that, which is probably the biggest change, is that for the upgrade from vetting member to be a UDU member, you no longer have to have pre-secured UDU node properties. Although if you're in the UDU team, that should be something you're working towards. So it's kind of, that expectation is still the expectation that you're going to get node properties, you're going to build on them as soon as possible, blah, blah, blah. That's still there. It's just, there's no pressure to get that done up front. And maybe that's can help with the roles as well. Like there's, I don't know, UDU Lite, you're a UDU member, but you don't have any properties, or I don't know. Maybe there's some way that we can
like you enjoy being a part of a community, but you don't enjoy the perks of it.
yeah, it's weird. Strange one.
We don't judge.
And there was that kicked off as well in the management channel about having specific roles associated with what nodes you're in. Like if you're in MTU, you'll have the MTU role and, you know, LMU. So that way, if Podex wants to tag his crew, he can do at LMU instead of at everyone, save a few pings. There's a lot of work. There's a lot of work in setting that up. So that's probably something we'll look at once we tick over to the 2 years and we rejig the member list. I'll probably put out another blast survey where you can submit what nodes you want to be a part of as far as the pings and whatnot, and then
I
we
can get a
can,
list of everybody in my node and just do it
yeah,
perfectly. Like it's just a matter of like going through your node and making a list of everyone that's in there. Otherwise, you can't ping everybody. You
Yeah.
are cut off.
yes. Well,
Welcome
people
everybody, but we're live.
say what? I don't know.
Who is that?
I don't know if that was a live mic or situation or somebody was trying to chime in. Yeah, so the expectations of membership, that's all there if you want to check that out. It's in roles. It's also, I've updated that in the website, on the UDU website, so that's part of that as well now. So you can check that out as well. Or if somebody does ask about how do you get involved or why should I be involved in UDU, it's probably not even necessary for them to ping Cheese on myself or Finsk anymore. You can just send them to the website, udu.world. Most of the general information is there, so it's a lot more easy to manage. What else we got? The future and role of mini nodes. Yeah, we decided to drop mini nodes pretty much off the roster entirely. They will still be pet projects, if you will. They'll still be there, but there's going to be no, like previously it was you could have 9 mini nodes and that equaled 1 full neighborhood node. Yeah, all of we stripped that right out.
And that's not bad because we're now more lenient with owning, remember the UDU Lite with even owning a property. So you don't have to worry about that anymore. I mean, I'm still going to be going forward with my mini node, but it's not going to be something that we're going to be concentrating 100% on or even 50% on.
Absolutely. And there are a couple of UDU members who did get in based on having several or whatever it was, a dozen mini node properties. Yeah, don't worry, it's not going to affect your membership. So pretty much the only thing that's going to affect your membership is active engagement, which alludes to the dungeon. And yeah, prior to the year 2 anniversary, I'll be going through and doing another round of dungeon crawling. So I know there's already probably about a dozen accounts that are just in the server, but just deactivated for whatever reason. So this is fair warning that'll be sorted out. And once you're in the dungeon, if you want to get that sorted out and get out and back in the team, it's just a matter of asking. So, but yeah, we do that to protect the self-interests of everybody. Jazz has asked, how do we know if we're close to the dungeon? Well, we kind of set that as if you haven't engaged in the team in any way, shape or form in the server within a month, then that's going to put a bit of a red flag. Usually I put a warning out, like I put a warning out probably 3-4 weeks ago. So most of the people that, if they are going to be sent to the dungeon, they haven't been active in the server for probably 3 months now. So yeah, I mean, if you're posting or you're engaged in the team chats or whatever, it's not an issue. Does that clear that up? Yeah, so mini nodes dropped pretty much off the roster now. Do we want to keep those in the server, or could that be just a pinned post somewhere? I don't think they need separate channels anymore, do they?
I think
what about just like a pinned post somewhere that has what they are, where they are, and who the manager is?
we could do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to streamline the server as much as possible as well. There's still a bit of fluffage there, because we know, with the full UDU nodes, we've moved to a different setup as far as Spark trains and whatnot, where the individual node managers are sorting those out. So there's a lot of stuff there that's no longer relevant.
And I just want to kind of say the reason why I went in that direction was because not everybody was contributing to the Spark train. And it was a bit disheartening to see that we were kind of helping other nodes, whereas other people that had properties weren't kind of reciprocating. So leave it to the node managers to kind of decide what's best for them was the only way Ben and I could personally see the right way to go.
Yeah. Yeah, like we've tried a lot of different angles in the first year. You know, we tried to be at first we tried to be very loose with the regulations as far as, you know, build wherever you want, the train will build wherever you want, that sort of thing. And then we kind of went swinging way back in the other direction where we were very rigid in, no, you had to build in this list and this order and that sort of thing. Year 2 is pretty much like we've said prior, it's going to be, less talk, more action. And a large part of that is as admins or as managers of the team, we're not going to baby nodes through to develop. You know, Cheese has her own node. I have my own node and own projects. Everybody who is a node manager can be responsible for their own node, and it's on them to step up and put the time and effort into, you know, seeing their plans through to fulfillment. As part of that, we have said that if you are a node manager and, you know, perhaps node management is not what you're expecting it to be, or maybe it was way more than you were expecting it to be, and you want to drop off, or you no longer, as part of UDU, you know, kind of disappearing from the wider community, maybe you're all about being visible in the wider community and you want to drop off. Those conversations need to happen prior to the 2-year anniversary. I don't want to kick off and start the 2-year anniversary afresh, and then we have dramas with people wanting to bail out of their nodes or whatever. Let's do some reflecting time and get that done prior to that. What's the 2-year anniversary? I think it's
1 year
of April, isn't it? Yeah, something like that. So you've got over a month. You know, have a think. What do you want to do? Whether that's you yourself as a member, whether that's you yourself as a node manager, and it's not going to affect, like, if you're a node manager and you decide you want to run your node as its own independent thing outside the UDU server, it's not going to impact on, you know, your membership or anything like that. And how many years? 1 or 2? Yeah, no, we've been around for almost 1 year, so we're getting ready for our year 2 to start. Boulder just asked in
that's
chat.
how you're saying it. All right.
Yeah. Sorry.
Got it. That's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so we want to have everything cleaned up and sorted out prior to our 2nd year beginning. We want to start afresh for the 2nd year. And like I said, it's not about, you know, whammy hands, have a look at us, this is what we're doing. It's just about putting your head down and working. So.
And there's no hard feelings. Like, if you think that you want to go in a different direction with your node, it's your node to do what you want. You'll still be like friends with the UDU. You'll still be, you know, like, in a sense of silent partners if you want, but you would be doing your own thing in your own kind of Discord website, whatever. You could still, like, it's just something that has to be decided on before the anniversary.
Yeah, because we've seen this go horribly wrong in the opposite direction. And Dimon being the classic example, you know, the double Dimons United node, where there was some drama that blew up, and next minute that one's been stripped out to do its own thing. And then there was a lot of background chatter where UDU team members were being poached to be onboarded to that, and then that ultimately turned out to be just a giant shit show. Nothing got done. It fizzled, and that whole node got destroyed. There was a whole bunch of, you know, friendships that were strained or lost as part of that process. Just got no time or effort or energy to put into that sort of shit. So if that's something that's been ticking away in your mind as far as pulling away, let's get this done sooner rather than later. So I don't know. I'm trying. I hope that doesn't sound harsh, because that's not what it's about at all. It's just about, we want to focus on the things that are important and building. You know, if your focus for yourself, whether that be your own time or your own focus has changed, well, yeah, the sooner those discussions happen, the better. I don't know. Anybody else want to chime in on that? And that's pretty much it, really. That was the main kind of factor. So I don't know. What are the main bullet points? Definitely a lot less visible in the open community. Like, I'm going to pretty much take off the UDU off my name. I don't think that needs to be there anymore because I'm only going to be active in the UDU server. So everybody knows I'm in the UDU and that sort of stuff. Yeah, a lot less. Yep. Sorry, Chase.
I personally might put MVE.
Yep.
And I am a lot more selective in the wider community. Like, I will be in the Atomic Hub meetings. I was able to give a good shout out to MVE, UDU, Uplando, and other aspects like Upland in general. I think places like that would be more important in regards to spreading yourself out.
Yep.
In my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. And like, every member's free to do whatever they want as far as that aspect. I'm not trying to influence people to do it one way or the other. Yeah, I'm just, for me personally, there's no point in me having it there because I'm not going to be active pretty much anywhere else. If I am active anywhere, let me have a look. Where am I still in? So I'm still in Portage Park, still in Little Italy, still in SMU, still in the GAYAV project as far as nodes go. So, I mean, everybody knows.
And Ben, you're gonna need me to be active for you as well in Upland for your meta ventures.
Yes. Well, that's another aspect that I haven't even touched on at all, which is a significant underpinning all of that. So thanks for reminding me. Yeah. So that's a whole nother thing that I've had to take on board as well. And as you may have seen, there's been a whole bunch of drama as far as, you know, everything that we had in place and planning for was all thrown out the window with the changes and whatnot that the team brought in. So we're still trying to rejig that, still trying to get our heads around how that can go about. And that's going to require a lot of time and effort as well. So yeah, that's something that's going to be a massive time sappers also. So yeah, that's part of this whole rebalancing thing. So yeah, thanks for reminding me about that, Cheese, because that's an important point to note. So yeah, the very limited time that I do have available is going to be spent focused on things that matter, things that, you know, things that are worth building for the future and whatnot. So other than that, I don't have anything to touch on, and we can wrap this puppy up. Anybody else want to chime in? Speak now or forever hold your peace. No, all good. Yeah, so we will.
Another episode of the Wine and Cheese Show.
You're a plug. I don't think you need to plug within the team. But yeah, we'll work out when's going to be potentially a better time and whatnot for the monthly catch-ups. We'll work that out at some stage. So yeah, I expect the next catch-up will be the 2-year anniversary, which is towards the end of April. So I don't know, just keep your eyes peeled for that. And yeah, we still haven't really worked out what we're going to do for that, aside from rejigging the membership role and, you know, putting some NFTs together and whatnot. So we'll see how we go. If you got some ideas, let us know. All right. Other than that, jump back over to the AMA if it's still going.
I think it ended.
Thank you.
Bye.